Well, welcome to today's episode of Construction Hot Takes. Full disclosure, I'm a little under the weather. They might keep that in. They might cut that out. I don't know. So I'm going to enjoy my tea over this conversation. So the topic I was just presented with is, as I've talked about before, there's kind of three roles on the find work and win work side of the business, and that's sales, marketing, and business development. And it was suggested that there's a place for business development in residential construction, to which I immediately said, I don't know if there's any type of actual business development in residential construction. And then you
how about this? We were actually just driving in the car thinking about what we were going to talk about. And you said, there is no place for business development in residential construction. No. And I said, actually, I disagree with you strongly.
Right. Well, let's start there. So I think of residential construction as home builders, basically,
Correct.
Or home remodelers.
Yes.
And they are business to consumer. They are getting leads. They're getting referrals. They're getting leads off of their marketing, their advertising, whatever that may be. And then once a lead comes in, it turns into a sales conversation. Maybe an estimating exercise, but a sales conversation. So I don't see in upfront. I don't see how business development falls into that, because I think of business development more as a commercial builders thing. So let's talk about what you see. How do you see business development in the residential market?
Yeah, well, I've been embedded deeply in the residential construction market the past 2 years. Majority of my clients on our marketing agency side happen to be high-end residential, either remodelers or new home builders at this moment. So I really think I can speak intelligently to this. And I would say,
enlighten me.
Yes, that sure, you're correct in the fact that is there business development in regards to courting the consumer? No, that's marketing, which then leads to a sales conversation. And then you have to have a sales process, right? But the business development that I see is that there is actually so much business development to be done in the residential market in the way of interacting with other centers of influence, going to industry events, making friends with architects that are going to refer you business, right? Making friends with, the interior designers who do some super high-end luxury design build that's maybe outside of your scope. And when you do land that client, you know who to go to. Or they have a client that they don't have a builder for, and they like you, so they're going to refer you. That's the business development that I'm talking about for residential construction. And I think that a lot of business owners overlook that. I know my clients have. And they've all reaped the benefits of starting to weave that into their overarching marketing and sales strategy.
That's interesting. So you think about a contractor building a relationship with an architect or a few architects as business development.
Because I'm not marketing to go get my consumer, right? I'm not, and it's not a sales conversation. It is developing my business and my network. I think, and if you think about what does business development do traditionally for commercial construction, they're networking, right? They're developing the network and making friends and shaking hands, because at the end of the day, even if it's business to business, people still do work with people. They buy from people. They choose to build with people. Yes, those people are associated with companies, but it really is at the end of the day personal relationships. And so, yeah, you're a high-end residential builder, build new builds, you want to go strike it up with architects. If you're a remodeler and you do design, build, remodel, you want to go talk to real estate agents. You want to talk to designers. Even if you have design, build, and house, you never know. Maybe they'll bring someone to you. They like you. They see your work. I think it's an absolutely worthwhile activity.
It's really interesting. I hadn't considered this morning that conversations with architects as a residential builder would be thought of as business development.
Well, what did you think it would be?
To me, that's just networking. But I guess...
But networking is business development.
It could be.
Isn't it?
Could be.
A key aspect of what business developers do?
If the people you're talking to can bring you work. So a lot of times residential builders have an architect because they need somebody to draw the plans up, but they are feeding the architect work. The architect is not bringing them work.
Correct.
So I wouldn't consider an architect who doesn't bring you work to be business development. I would consider that just building my stable of actually contractors, my subcontractor base.
Well, there's that, but there's also the world in which some of our clients play in, which is the builders or the clients go to the architects first.
This is true.
And or they come to you as the builder and they think, wow, you build really great work, but you're not an architect, so who do I go work with? Well, you refer them out to your buddy, George, who's a great architect, and George will send them back to you and build the plans that, you want to build, right? And then also send his next people your way.
All right. You've got me in your camp. I'm in your camp now that there's a place for business development.
Rather easy.
Yeah, I know. Well, I'm not going to fight a losing battle just for the sake of the viewers' entertainment.
This is true.
But let's talk about this some more. So let's talk about maybe a few specific examples you could give of where you've encouraged, where we've helped our clients develop their business development skills as residential builders. You touched on a few with architects. You mentioned real estate agents. I'd like to hear more about that. That could be really interesting to talk about.
Well, I mean, we've seen it. We've seen it have effects in multiple markets in working with real estate agents, and it can work a bunch of different ways, right? Now, real estate is a highly regulated industry, right? So there's all sorts of things you can and cannot do. And it varies by state and by board and by county and all the things. We've learned all of this over the last few years. So this is by no means a blanket approval statement that you should go do this, right? Talk to your county board of realtors first. But we have seen our clients be successful in either presenting at a monthly sales meeting for a real estate brokerage, right? They all have them. It's really the only time that they're all in one place, right? And maybe it's not even monthly. Sometimes it's a quarterly sales meeting, right? But you want to sponsor the event because they're always looking for people to sponsor it, right? But don't want to sponsor it in a sales way. You want to sponsor it. Yes, you're there to make relationships. So you're going to show up and have a presentation. But think of it as like, what can I talk about or bring that is offhand knowledge of mine? I'm so deeply ingrained in this topic, I could talk about it all day long, and it would be super valuable for these realtors to know and understand because they're not builders. And how can I help them serve their clients better or serve their own interests better too? A lot of these realtors are also flippers because they've got their beat on the market, right? And they know when and what to buy. We had one of our clients give a presentation about how flipping is actually a super shitty investment in their area. And he's seen it go south so many times. And the few times that he's seen it not go south, here were the tenants of that, build in the property and whatever that allowed it to be successful. And it was received with a really warm welcome, right? And it allowed him to make relationships like, oh, wow, this guy knows what he's talking about. Huh. That's a great idea. I was thinking about doing that. I'm going to ask him for advice before I do that next time. And you know what? I've got some clients who are looking to build. They just bought some land up here. You want to build it? I'm going to refer you to them, right? Would you be interested in talking to these clients? And, that can be, right? Okay, this is where the regulations come in. That could be some kind of like official referral partnership, or it could just be somebody doing somebody else a solid. But ultimately, again, right? People refer to people they like. People work with people they like. So your whole point is to go and know more real estate agents because they've got the buyers and you've got the build. So let's put you all together and make friends and actually deliver value, right? Don't just go with a sales presentation. That's a big thing too, right? Don't just show your pretty builds and be like, look what I can do. Good to do that too, but only after you've delivered them some kind of thoughtful, real value that they can start to see you as like a resource and a friend.
Yeah, I mean, that's kind of the way the world has gone now. It's give to get. Give something first, get something in return. Don't ask first, offer first.
Yeah. I mean, that's all good content marketing is, right?
True.
Give and deliver free value so that you build trust and respect. And then when they need the thing that you offer, they know who to go to and they want to, and they already know, trust, and like you, right? And that's all good sales is developing know, trust, and like.
So how does a general contractor, a resident general contractor, provide value to an architect or an interior designer? How can they give something of value to the architect to build that bond, that relationship?
That one's a little bit different, right? Architects are their own breed.
Yes.
However, I mean, if there are any architects out here listening to us now, it'd be interesting to hear your take on this. But I think that the best thing that they can do is just be really easy to work with as a builder. Show up when you say you're going to show up. Communicate, over-communicate. Architects are very, from my experience, very nitpicky and proud of all of the work that they do, and it is very precise. And the worst thing is when a builder is hired by their clients and they just can't make the vision come to life like it's supposed to. And or they don't communicate that they can't do it until it's way too late. And then it just looks like crap.
Well, that brings up some memories from the past with some of our clients. I think one of the things that I've heard that they can do that brings value to architects is they help them with the budgeting process. The owner has a budget. The architect is designing something that is potentially way out of budget, and the builder is there to provide the reality check. Like, yeah, we can do that, but it's going to blow the budget by X amount of dollars because that costs too much. And here's something I've done in another area or on another build that might suffice. That's more, it's like a different means and methods or a different material that can accomplish what the architect is aiming for, but help with price reductions and cost savings to serve the client as well, and help the architect look really good in the eyes of the client. So I think that's something I've been through with some of our resi clients in the past.
Yeah. I think the best way to do that kind of stuff, obviously having network relationships already that are semi-warm is the best way to go about it, right? You go to an industry event and you meet somebody where you're both there on purpose to network. But if you can't, or if you don't have those, one, there's so many, so find them. But join the, architectural design board foundations near you, and I'm sure you'll meet some great people. But you can always just honestly start with a phone call and try to talk to the architect, but it has to be the owner, the builder. You can't have your assistant do it or whatever. It has to be an owner to owner kind of relationship, or a, boss to boss. And that straight up you lead with, hey, I'm looking to develop new architectural relationships. I build in your area. Here's a lot of things I see. I've got some case studies of how we've built some complicated things before, and here's some pictures. Can I shoot you, an email with that stuff? Would love to be considered, and hey, if you'd ever like to get lunch to chat, cool, or invite them to a golf thing or whatever your thing is, right? But the whole point of networking today in today's world is drop the salesy, gimmicky bullshit. Nobody wants that. No one wants to be sold to, or, you could feel it right away, right? A cold call. You just don't want, just be straight up a real, hey, I'm actually looking to develop new relationships, with architects. I'm a builder. My name is Jim. I've been doing it for 27 years. You have great architectural work. I admire some of the things you've done. Would love to show you what I can build. Would you be interested in me sending you an email? Most people who aren't assholes will be like, okay, sure, let me see it. There might be some assholes who are like, nope, sorry, not interested, and they hang up on you, but whatever. Okay. Just be real. Be a real person. Again, I can't say it enough. People buy from people, so be a real person and think how would I try to make a friend at, I don't know, anything else that I'm doing in my life.
Got it. Any other tactics or strategies you've seen pay dividends to residential builders that would fall into this realm of business development?
Yeah,
I heard you mention trade shows earlier.
No, trade shows, no, not trade shows. Networking events. So trade shows, no, don't waste your time.
So what kind of networking events are there for residential builders? I know a lot about commercial builders, but...
Yeah, well, there's the National Association of Home Builders. They throw parties and events. But honestly, you're not looking to go network honestly with other home builders, right? You're looking to go network with people outside of your network. So go get involved in the, like I said, an architectural and design one. There's a bunch of our clients that we have in New York City. They are involved in a bunch of those. And I think there's 3 or 4 that they all have charitable events, right? So go sponsor a table, buy the ticket to play at whatever they're doing, right? So go be a part of that club, and just be a normal person and strike up real, regular relationships and conversations that will naturally lead to, oh yeah, I know that guy. Oh yeah, cool. Okay, well yeah, let's sit down and have lunch and see what you can build. you know. But I'll say with real estate agents on the flip side of that, we've had a client do some presentations where it's actually a great market for flipping. And he's talking about, you know, the best options that he sees and also about how to sell your luxury outdated properties faster and how to move those. His market is there's a lot of older, super high-end homes that are on the market to be sold, but they are ugly, you know, like big.
Which market is this?
Travertine. Yeah. Like just old, like 90s Tuscan style, gaudy. Looks like it's out of the Jersey Shore, but in Arizona. Like, you know, just
got it.
Not cute anymore. It was a time people liked it. It's not anymore, right? But there's so many of those that need to be remade, right? So I think there's also an opportunity to look for, okay, how can I serve the real estate agents who are trying to sell those, right? Go strike up relationships or conversations with the listing agents on a bunch of these properties and say, if you're ever struggling to cast vision for your clients who are interested in this house or this property, I'm your guy. Like I do free evaluations or walkthroughs with your clients, and we could talk about what's really possible for this property. And then look, I have AI design software and I'm pretty good at prompting now. So let me just take a couple pictures, prompt it with this prompt that him and I have like worked on to help him get a great result. And then I can send these to your client or, you know, to you to share with your client to help cast that vision and make that sale. And did that take 30 minutes of his time to like show up for the walkthrough and then a little bit of follow-up? Yeah. But if that lands him a relationship that can then pay dividends year and year and year after, like, okay, worth it, worth that time investment, right? So that's another business development relationship, right? Where he's not actually marketing directly to the client. It's to other people, other centers of influence in his industry.
Got it.
I also think there's relationships to be had with like insurance agents and mortgage brokers. And just the more people know that you exist and know who are in the tangential industry and know the type of work that you do, even unofficially, like, yeah, well, you guys are buying this property. I know you need a construction loan. And cool. Well, do you already have a builder picked out? Because I have like 2 that I really like. Here's a recommendation. Friend to friend. Doing you a favor.
You know, I'm sitting here listening to all this, and it's making me think about we're buying a house in another state.
Yes, we are.
And I'm leveraging our relationship with our real estate agent, and she knows all the contractors I need to get things done. Mm-hmm. So real world experience. I'm actually talking to our real estate agent to get referrals for contractors in Florida to do some things around the house that we're buying.
Yep.
So.
And that happens all the time.
Yeah.
And people trust their real estate agent because you go through a lot with your real estate agent when you're buying a home, right? And they're all up in your business. And so you really either develop a trust or hate relationship with them pretty quickly. And if you do trust them, you're going to be asking them for their resources, then likely, I mean, just like me, I asked our girl for like 3 or 4 different ones, and I texted all of the ones that she sent me, and I didn't even bother Googling other people. Because if she's worked with them, says they do good work, done, shoe in, I'm sold. Give me a fair price and we're good.
There you go. All right, you convinced me. There's a place and a strong place for business development in the residential market. It just wasn't what I was thinking about. You know what we need to do now? Now we need to do one of these that talks about business development in commercial.
Yes.
Maybe that's the next one we do.
That is the next one we're going to do.
Oh.
I think it's actually officially on the paper.
Did you set that up?
I did. Oh. Actually, our production agency set that up. They're geniuses. So.
Got it. All right. Well, we'll see you on the next one where we talk about business development in commercial construction and how valuable that can be. Check us out on Apple, Spotify, and YouTube.
Yes, YouTube, Construction Hot Takes.
That's it. Thanks.